Okay, here's a little walk around for the Corvette. Let me do a startup procedure. This is the master switch, the external master, that I pretty much never turn off, but you can. Getting in the car, it's got what they call the NASCAR bars, so there's a lot of room to get in and work on the car, really convenient. The door is all hollowed out because of that. Here you can see this is a leg support that is mandatory in Trans Am, so that in theory you don't break your thigh if you get hit with this little angle right here. Here's the window net, good through June of 25. Anyway, so the steering wheel does come off. It's a Sparco, comes off, which is nice, but I'm 6 foot, 235 pounds, and I don't even need to take it off to get in the car. So I'll show you that. So in the car, between the legs, a little fire extinguisher, a handheld. That's I've never had to use it on my own car, but I've had to take those out and hand it to somebody on fire on the track. So it'll save your day someday, hopefully, or hopefully not, but hopefully you don't need it. Here's a radio holder for your two-way radio. Push to talk. I have a Garmin that clips on here with a magnet. I forgot to put that in. I'll show you that. Here's an AEM AFR gauge, so you can watch your air-fuel ratio. Here's some fire extinguisher nozzles. We got a trans cooler, diff cooler, the cool suit. Here's an AIM Solo DL Solo 2. It's even got the plastic cover still on it. That was required in a US touring car. That's how they keep track of your power to weight ratio stuff. Here's the hoses for your cool suit. Here's the electronic mirror, which is controlled right here. Right here is the button. Here is the Garmin. I'll show you that briefly. So my normal startup procedure, the car's cold, but what I will do is I'll go over here to the main power, click the power on. You'll see the gauges kind of freak out a little bit, which is normal. Give it a minute. And then without turning the ignition on, I'll press the starter button to prime the car. So that's it. Give it like maybe 5 seconds. That just gets the oil pumping everywhere. That's just a good habit. You don't have to do that every time you start the car, but if you haven't started the car in a few days, I would do that. And then go ahead and flip the ignition. You'll see the gauges kind of light up again. And then come over and do the start. It always says service engine. So you come over here to this reset. You press reset until you get the odometer. And you come over and press the gauge button to get whatever gauge you want. So if you want to monitor oil pressure, comes off. Like this. What's nice about it is you can put the steering wheel on crooked, and it'll find its center, and then that way you never have to try to find which way it's facing. Anyway, that's the inside of the car. It's warming up a little bit. Here's the I'm trying to remember, there's a way to change this from the different views. That's facing backwards. The camera needs to be angled, but you can look at the inside camera, the front or the rear. So anyway, that's the inside of the car, the AFR. I'm gonna turn it off, just flip the ignition, and then the power button.